There are places on this earth that most human beings will never see, not because they are too far away, not because they are too expensive to reach, but because they are simply forbidden, closed off, protected, secret. And today, we are going to take you inside some of the most extraordinary, mysterious, and breathtaking places on our planet that almost no one is allowed to enter. Some of these places are hidden by nature itself, others are protected by governments, and some are so sacred, so ancient, so fragile, that the decision was made long ago to keep them exactly as they are, untouched, unchanged, perfect. Let's begin somewhere that has captured the imagination of explorers and adventurers for centuries, the island of North Sentinel in the Bay of Bengal. This small, densely forested island sits in the Indian Ocean, and from above, it looks like paradise. White sand beaches, crystal clear water, lush green jungle stretching from shore to shore. But North Sentinel Island is one of the most restricted places on Earth, and for a very important reason. The island is home to the Sentinelese, one of the last remaining communities on Earth that has chosen, completely and deliberately, to have no contact with the outside world. They have lived on this island for thousands of years, possibly tens of thousands, and they have made it absolutely clear, across centuries of attempted contact, that they wish to remain exactly as they are. The Indian government has made it illegal to approach within 5 miles of the island, not to imprison its people, but to protect them, to honor their choice, because the Sentinelese have no immunity to the diseases of the outside world. A simple common cold could devastate their entire community, and so the island sits, as it has for thousands of years, wrapped in jungle and surrounded by ocean, completely its own world, completely intact. And perhaps the most powerful thing about North Sentinel Island is this: in a world where almost every corner of the earth has been explored, photographed, mapped, and documented, there is still a place that simply says, no, you cannot come here. And that choice is respected. From an island that protects its people, let's travel to a place that protects something entirely different: the future of our planet's food supply. Deep inside a mountain on a remote Norwegian island, buried under hundreds of meters of Arctic rock and permafrost, sits one of the most important and extraordinary structures ever built by human beings, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. From the outside, it looks almost science fictional. A concrete wedge emerging from a snowy mountainside, a single glowing entrance visible against the white landscape. But inside, in carefully controlled freezing temperatures, are stored over 1 million seed samples from almost every crop plant known to humanity, seeds from every country on Earth, insurance against the possibility of a catastrophic event, a disease, a climate disaster, a conflict that could threaten the world's food supply. Access to the seed vault is extraordinarily restricted. Only a handful of people are authorized to enter at any time. The location was chosen specifically because it is geologically stable, naturally frozen, and far from any conflict zone. It sits above the current sea level so that even significant climate change cannot threaten it with flooding. It is, in the most literal sense, a vault built for the future of humanity. And the fact that it exists, that human beings looked ahead far enough to build something like this, is one of the most quietly remarkable things about our species. Now let's go somewhere that feels like it belongs to another time entirely: the forests of Okigahara in Japan. Okigahara is a dense, ancient forest that spreads across the northwestern base of Mount Fuji. It is sometimes called the Sea of Trees, because from above, the canopy is so thick and unbroken that it resembles a vast green ocean. The forest grows on a bed of hardened lava, from a volcanic eruption over 1,000 years ago, and the rock beneath it creates a landscape so uneven, so full of caves and crevices and hidden spaces, that it is extraordinarily easy to become lost inside it. The trees are twisted and ancient. The forest floor is covered in thick moss, and because the volcanic rock interferes with compasses and GPS signals, navigation inside Okigahara is genuinely difficult even for experienced hikers. Access to many parts of Okigahara is heavily restricted, and the forest is carefully monitored and protected by Japanese authorities. But it is not just its physical danger that makes Okigahara extraordinary. It is its atmosphere. People who have walked along the authorized paths at the edges of the forest describe an experience unlike any other. The silence inside is almost complete. The dense canopy absorbs sound in a way that feels almost physical. The light filters through the trees in strange, shifting patterns, and the sense of age, of a landscape that has existed in almost exactly this form for 1,000 years, is overwhelming. It is a place that reminds you, quietly and powerfully, how ancient the natural world is, and how small we are within it. From ancient forests, let's travel somewhere that sits at the very edge of human reach, the summit of Mount Everest. Most people know that Mount Everest is the highest point on Earth, 29,032 feet above sea level. But what most people don't fully appreciate is just how hostile, how extreme, how genuinely dangerous the upper reaches of Everest are. Above 26,000 feet, the zone that mountaineers call the death zone, the human body begins to deteriorate. The air contains so little oxygen that the brain and muscles start to fail. Every step requires an almost superhuman effort. Even with supplemental oxygen, the body is slowly dying. Access to Everest is strictly controlled by the Nepalese government. Permits are required, and the number of climbers allowed on the mountain at any time is carefully regulated. And even with a permit, reaching the summit is far from guaranteed. The weather on Everest can change with terrifying speed. A clear morning can become a deadly storm within hours. The mountain takes lives every year, and yet the summit remains one of the most powerful and extraordinary places on Earth, a point so high, so exposed, so far above the ordinary world, that the view from the top is unlike anything else a human being can experience. On a clear day, you can see the curvature of the Earth itself. The sky above is a shade of deep blue that exists nowhere else. And the silence, that absolute, total silence at the top of the world, is something that those who have reached it say they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. Now let's go somewhere that is restricted not because of danger or protection, but because of pure, extraordinary secrecy. Area 51 in the Nevada desert of the United States. Area 51 is perhaps the most famous restricted location in the world, a highly classified United States Air Force facility sitting in the middle of a vast, empty desert, surrounded by warning signs, motion sensors, security patrols, and airspace restrictions that extend for miles in every direction. The base itself is not visible from any public road. The perimeter is marked with signs that make it absolutely clear this land is off limits. No exceptions, no photography, no trespassing. What goes on inside Area 51 has been the subject of fascination and speculation for decades. The United States government acknowledged the facility's existence officially only relatively recently, and what is confirmed is that it has been used for the testing and development of highly classified experimental aircraft and defense technologies. The U-2 spy plane, the SR-71 Blackbird, aircraft so advanced for their time that their appearance in the skies above Nevada generated reports of unidentified flying objects. The real story of Area 51, the documented story, is actually extraordinary enough without any mythology. It is a place where some of the most remarkable feats of aviation engineering in human history were designed, built, and tested in complete secrecy. And yet the mystery remains. Because secrecy, by its nature, creates questions. And questions, when they go unanswered long enough, create legends. From the Nevada desert, let's travel to somewhere almost impossibly remote, the plateau of Antarctica. Antarctica is the coldest, driest, windiest continent on Earth. It is larger than Europe. It contains 70% of the world's fresh water, locked in ice sheets that are in some places nearly 3 miles thick, and vast portions of it are completely inaccessible, not because of government restriction, but because nature itself makes entry impossible. Temperatures in the interior can drop below -80 degrees Celsius. Winds can reach over 200 miles per hour. The darkness of the polar winter lasts for months, and the distances involved, the sheer scale of the continent, mean that even with modern technology, large areas remain essentially unexplored. But Antarctica is also one of the most strictly protected places on Earth. The Antarctic Treaty, signed by dozens of nations, designates the continent as a natural reserve devoted to peace and science. Commercial mining and military activity are prohibited. Tourism is carefully controlled. And beneath the ice, in lakes that have been sealed from the surface world for millions of years, scientists believe there may be entire ecosystems of life forms that have evolved in complete isolation. Creatures that have never been exposed to the surface world. Life that exists nowhere else on Earth. The ice above them has kept their world intact and unchanged for longer than human civilization has existed. And perhaps that is the most extraordinary thing about all of these forbidden places. They remind us that the Earth is still larger than we sometimes think. That there are still corners of this planet that remain untouched, unexplored, and unknown. That mystery, real, genuine mystery, still exists in our world. We live in an age where almost any information is available at the touch of a button, where satellites have photographed every square meter of the Earth's surface, where it sometimes feels like there is nothing left to discover. And then you remember, there is an island in the Indian Ocean, where no outsider has ever been welcomed. There are lakes beneath Antarctic ice that no human has ever seen. There are forests where the silence is so complete it feels like the world has held its breath. And in those places, the Earth is still keeping its secrets, still holding something back, still reminding us, quietly, powerfully, That wonder is not something that belongs only to the past. It is still here, hidden in the places we cannot go, waiting, perfectly preserved, exactly as nature made it. Some doors are closed for a reason, and maybe, just maybe, the most beautiful thing about them is that they remain that way.